All right, back at it. Another fire conversation. Another, should I call him I want to say a hidden gem, diamond in the rough. We live and direct with OSBE Chill, ladies and gentlemen, man. Somebody that I've been seeing for some years, and we've been trying to connect and link, and I'm just glad we're able to make this happen, man. Appreciate you pulling on up, bro.
I appreciate you for having me, bro, for real.
Keeping it homegrown, man. Now, you were somebody that's one of our own. You know what I'm saying? You out here making it work, making a splash. I first caught wind of you at, I'm going to shout out Prez again, Payday LA.
Yes, sir.
Seen you do your thing a couple of times. Prez, yeah. But for the folks that don't know who OSBE Chill is, man, who are you? Where do you hail from? How'd you get into this hip hop space? And we'll kind of just have a flowful conversation.
For those who don't know OSBE Chill, I'm a father first.
I love that.
And a family man, you feel me? And as far as like me as a person, you feel me? I say I'm a good person.
You give that energy
if you let me tell it, you know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, man, you know, everybody knows, like, you know, music is pretty much my life. Music consumes my life, you know. The type of music I make is just like real life things that I go through. Like, it's hard for me to make music if I'm not really like living. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
was that always the case? Was it a forced thing in the beginning when you were trying to figure out your space and your voice in this music, or was you telling your lifestyle and what you lived always a component to OSBE Chill, the story?
Well, when I first started rapping, I ain't really have nothing to talk about.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So how do you then?
It was good. It was good, but it was just like, you know, I'm just making stuff up and just saying stuff that I think sound cool.
It's
you know
rhyming.
What I'm saying? Yeah, it's rhyming and stuff like that. But I think once I started like going through stuff, you know, like jail and all that type of stuff, like, and I started rapping about that stuff, I noticed like people gravitating towards my music more. Like, you feel me? So I was like, okay, this is my niche right here. Like, and it's weird, like, cause I only get inspired, like, if it's something heavy on my mind. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy. Which is, I've heard this conversation about, there's always this myth that Mary J. Blige, and this is a random comparison, right?
Yeah.
But they say, man, Mary J. Blige and anybody that does R&B for that matter, they do their best work when they're going through heartbreak. Whenever like life is amazing, you know, she was married, all these things, it's fine, but she has to go through the heartbreak. We look at Usher, Confessions, you know, one of his best pieces of work. He had to go through some bullshit in order to create that masterpiece.
Nah, that's a fact. One of the execs at the time at Interscope, I was cool with when he was still working there or whatever, and I don't know what I was going through at the time, but I was telling him, and that was the first thing he told me. He was like, people make the best music when they're going through stuff. And I kind of like, that kind of motivated me too, to like, okay, let me keep talking about this real life stuff that, you know, that people probably ain't gonna say on their music like that. They ain't gonna talk about, you know, what they go through, you know, off Instagram and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
But isn't it one of those things like, damn, I have to go through some heavy shit? Like you said, the heavier the shit.
It don't gotta be heavy shit. I could be having a good time and going through great things. You feel me? I'm gonna make that type of music. It's gonna be more.
It's still storytelling aspect.
Yeah, you feel me? It's gonna be more how I'm feeling right now. Like if I'm in a good mood, you feel me? I'm gonna make good mood music.
Got you. Okay.
But if it's like, you know, something heavy, I'm gonna make, you know, it's just how I'm feeling really. Like,
got you. So it's still a reflection of what you're going through, whether good or bad. You can still kind of
bad. Yeah.
Got it. I also look at you as a soulful individual, man. You have this voice that cuts through. You know what I'm saying? From being melodic, raw, raspy, but at the same time, it cuts through like no other, man. I want you to talk about developing your sound over the years. Is that something that was always the case, or did you realize like, damn, okay, this works?
That's so crazy because my dad, he has my dad like 6'7", bro. Like, you feel me? And has the most high pitched voice.
Get the fuck out of here.
Ever.
Get the
For real, look, we used to go to drive-thrus to order food. And the lady would be like, anything else, ma'am?
Oh, no.
Pops be hot, like, I'm a man. So my voice got a mixture of, like, his voice, you feel me? And then I guess my mom's side of the family. And, Yeah, my pops used to tell me when I was younger, like he was like, "Yeah, your voice is gonna take you places." Like people always talk about
Yeah,
my
it's
voice.
different, man.
Yeah, I used to hate it, honestly.
Why? I mean,
because it'd be like, you growing up, you going through puberty, all that. I'm thinking my shit finna get deep. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they like it ain't happening.
But I learned to love it. Like I hated it at first, but then my voice literally like got me a lot of places.
Yeah, man. It's your instrument. I think you use it well, man. That's hilarious that you, and for all lack of purposes, you had insecurities with your voice back then because you would never know listening to your music today. So the fact that you flipped that and made it work for you is hilarious to hear. You know, and it's relatable because everybody kind of goes through that to a certain extent.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's always something when you're growing up that you don't like about yourself, and then you learn to love it eventually as you get older.
When did you know you were dope?
When did I know? That's a good question. I just remember when I was weak. You feel me? I went to the studio and they kicked me out. Like,
are you serious?
I swear to God.
So when you say they kick you out, they just like, oh, we're not gonna.
Nah, they was laughing at me so bad that I just left that motherfucker. Like,
was your voice high in or something?
It probably was a little higher at the time.
Yeah, I'm busting gas. Yeah, bust your ass, nigga. Probably OSBE chill for real.
Was a little higher at the time. You feel me? But I knew I was dope when I ended up connecting with Bobby Womack Jr. You feel me? Yeah, I ended up randomly like meeting him. Well, it wasn't that random, but it was random. I met him at this barbershop that I used to go to. You feel me? He had just got out of the pen from doing like 14 years. You feel me? And the barber, we both had the same barber, and my barber was telling me like, yeah, he was just with Rick Ross and whoop. Like, so I'm like, oh, this is the nigga I need to talk to. You feel me?
Talking about Bobby Womack Jr.
Bobby Womack Jr. Yeah, because this at the time Bobby Womack Sr. was still alive too. So they was around Rick Ross because Rick Ross was doing that song with Bobby Womack. So this was around that time. Damn. And I went up to him and I was like, yeah, tell Rick Ross, you feel me? I murder any one of his artists. Like all them niggas trash. And he did exactly what you did. Was just sitting there laughing and shit. And I gave him my line, all that, and like he didn't hit me, bro, till like I say like a month later. You feel me? And I was going through a lot of shit at the time. Like me and my girl, she was with me, you feel me? And I remember telling her, like, yeah, we gonna be straight. Like, don't worry, like, you feel me? And this nigga hit me, like, and was like, yo, your shit hard as fuck. Like, you feel me? I'm just now listening to your shit. I'm like, oh, word? Like, he like, yeah, what you up to? Like, I give bro the whole, like, bro, I'm doing bad.
This shit rough right now. I'm glad you called.
On the real. Like. And I told him the whole get down and all that. And then he ended up introducing me to his dad, Bobby Womack Sr. At the time, they living in this big ass mansion in fucking Tarzana.
Put the mic down just a little bit, my bad. Put it down just a little bit.
Oh, you said down?
Down, yeah.
Yeah, they living in this mansion in Tarzana. And I'm like, damn, they're homeless and shit at the time. And like, they moved me in that motherfucker, set up a studio for me, all of that shit. And so I started building my shit from there. And that's when I like was motivated and knew I was good. I'm like, okay,
they gonna do all this, right?
Legends right now, like, you feel me? Like I ended up meeting DJ Quick, all type of people through them, and I ended up signing a deal just off meeting some random people, just being in the area in Tarzana. I ended up signing a deal to Interscope. For 3 years, yeah.
Okay. So you just can't say no random shit like that. You just randomly sign a deal to Interscope. Why do I get the?
That's why I brought her. But she was there every step of the way, so she know I ain't lying.
Why do I get the feeling that this is a common theme in your life? Does this happen? Like this just happens like random wild shit.
Wild shit, bro. Like all the time. It's like I don't think it's just random.
Right.
You feel me?
No. Random as far as like. How crazy it looks to the outside.
Yeah.
I believe I believe in the energy and all
that.
Like I feel like you're the type of person that your energy carries and attracts things towards you, right? You come from some, a rough, like not a lot of people make it out of your circumstances. So to get from that to experience the things that you've experienced, there's no accident to that. But to the common eye, it's like, how'd that happen? How'd this happen?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's just a common theme in your life.
No, that's definitely.
When did you realize, like, oh, okay, this is not an accident because it's not random in that I have a purpose in this here life? I know it's a deep question, but it's like...
it once I found the book, The Secret, and I started reading that book. But I only realized it because before then, like all my life, even when I was a kid, I just randomly seen Tyrese one day and just was like, "Yo,
see,"
and
you see what I'm talking about?
Like
just randomly,
real, like I just,
and this is probably in the height of like,
he wasn't even like Tyrese yet. You feel me? But I was just so into music that I used to love that commercial every time it came on, and ended up seeing them. Like I just felt like it was like because the love I had for it so much just brought it to me.
So
you feel
what
me?
does a young OSBE Chill say to a young Tyrese at this time? What, you randomly see
I just was like the Coca-Cola man. I ran down. I seen him from my balcony. I ran outside. Like I'm like, you the Coca-Cola man. He like, yeah, you feel me? Oh, then my mom come out. She's wondering what the hell I'm running after, you feel me? And she see him. She like, oh, like he give us an autograph. He after that he used to come and just knock on the door to come talk to me sometimes, like because his cousin stayed right across from me.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Bro. So fast forward. We're gonna go all over the place here, but. Fast forward, have you had that conversation with him, or does he know that that's you? I ain't ran into
him yet.
So he doesn't know that.
He doesn't even know yet. But when I do, he gonna trip
for him. That's crazy. So randomly getting signed to Interscope. What are these? What are these moments like for you? And what was that experience like getting signed to Interscope early? What lessons did you learn from that experience? Going through that.
A whole lot. It was definitely life changing. I made a lot of connections with people. Like the deal didn't go how it was supposed to go, as far as like my music getting shelved and stuff. But like I don't hold that against Interscope. You feel me? I just didn't know a lot of stuff at the time. Like
at the time, did you hold it against him?
I did.
Okay,
but I was really just blaming them for my own bullshit.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Like I could have did way more. In hindsight. But yeah, I learned a lot. Like you feel me? Like I learned a lot from fucking with Interscope, and yeah. Them moments was like
not too many people had that opportunity though early on, man. And so it's like again,
it was a kind of a weird time when I came in too. Like,
what do you mean?
Like, Jimmy Iovine had just left, so John Jenick got put in position.
Okay,
he come from a pop background, so he don't know nothing.
He
about
don't know
the
what
type
the fuck
of
you
music
got.
I'm making. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So he literally in the meetings like, do anybody listen to this type of music anymore? So that already like just shot me down. I'm like, damn, like, so do I even have a chance at this motherfucking label? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
how did that teach you about speaking up for yourself? Like at that moment when you hear these people saying this at the label, are you boisterous about it, or are you just kind of like, man, you guys, you know what you're talking about?
Yeah, I definitely was speaking up, but I was fresh out the ghetto, so my speaking up was like,
hey, nigga,
aggressive. You feel me? Yeah, and like them execs and stuff like that,
they don't like that shit.
Yeah, like I didn't have so many doors shut on me, thinking like, you feel me? I'm finna Suge Knight some shit, and like, nah, you know what I mean? But yeah, bro.
That's wild, man. No, I mean, I think that it's interesting that you go through those things and you're learning those experiences. And more importantly, you didn't let that stop you. You know what I'm saying? You stayed encouraged and still kind of, maneuvered through the business. Where does that take you? You're shelved at this point, or the situation you didn't go through? Did you ask to be released, or did they release you? Like, how did that go, and what was the next step?
We basically agreed. I kind of knew already it was going down the drain.
I'm sorry, what year was this?
What year did I sign? I think 2016.
2016. Okay.
Yeah, 2016 to 2019.
Got it. Okay, so then 2019, that's around the time I seen you at
and then it was weird because after I signed, I started doing way more. My name would start getting way bigger.
Like, see,
it was
it's crazy how things work out though. Because had you might not have been able to put the output that you've been doing, being kind of signed to a label. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of output. Talk about the homie Doe, man. Doe boy, man. Link it up with him.
Me and Doe connected. Well, who I meet first? You or Big Y?
Salute Big Y, man. Rest in peace.
Then Big Y, right? Yeah, but I already knew Big Y, you feel me? But I ain't never really met him before. And then I had met Doe, but I ain't know who Doe was. You know what I'm saying? So I knew he just fucked with my music. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm like, automatically I'm fucking with this nigga. And then once we start connecting and I seen like that he was on like the same type of wave like that I'm on, like with the soul samples and all of that. Like, you feel me? It was like we just started going in after that. Yeah, like,
bro.
Yeah, that Broken Cuffs, that was classic, man, right there.
Classic material, man. I want to put a pin in you linking up with Game also. And how did that introduction come? And you know,
Yeah,
you
shout out to
linking
the
up
bro.
with that label, and you know, being on Born to Rap, and then the other album, Drillmatic, like those sessions and those experiences. Because I was gonna ask, like, being in that, I know it wasn't like a shocking, like, starstruck moment, because you've had these experiences prior to that. But what did you take with that whole situation, when, you know, meeting him and being in the studio and kind of working with Game?
Man, bro. So I was signed to Interscope. I think I met Game in like 2018. No, 2017. Actually, I met Game before that. You feel me? Because he
Before
took me
being
on
signed?
tour. Before I got signed,
Okay.
he took me on tour.
Okay.
You feel me?
How did you guys meet?
So I was working with this producer. So Stat Quo used to manage me.
Okay.
You feel me? So I was working with Stat Quo. He introduced me to this producer. The producer, me and him was building. Then one day, Game called the producer and was like, he wanted to pull up with some beats. So he asked me if I wanted to go with him. I'm like, hell yeah, nigga, it's Game. You feel me?
Why not? Yeah.
So Stat Quo already there. I guess I wasn't supposed to be there. Because mind you, I was recording in Game's studio that he had in North Hollywood like for a year before I even met bro. You feel me?
You knew or didn't know?
I knew. I seen his plaques and shit all over.
Shit. Wait, but you wasn't supposed to be there?
But I wasn't. For some reason, they was keeping me from meeting bro.
Oh,
Like
why
with
you
the
were signed
Interscope
with
shit and all that. Because I guess he had
Got
some
you.
type of beef with Interscope,
Oh, yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
So they was
yeah.
trying to keep.
Got you, okay.
But me linking up with bro helped me get the deal, which is funny.
That is okay.
So, yeah. So, bro, I go to the studio with the producer. Stat mad that I'm walking in, like, you feel me? He in the building now, like, you feel me? Whoa. I'm like, I just ignore them niggas and go straight to Game studio, like, you feel me? They left me outside. People don't know this story, bro. They left me outside of the studio, outside the gate at Chalice.
Oh my God.
You feel me?
Yeah.
A runner walk up. You feel me? I hope I don't. This
Nah,
years
yeah,
ago.
yeah, yeah.
That runner don't even work
Right,
there no
okay.
more, so don't fire nobody. But yeah,
They
the
gonna
runner
run up
walk
all the runners like, man, who the fuck let this
for
nigga
real.
in?
That's why he don't even work there no
Yeah.
more. The runner walk up. He like, oh, you trying to get in? I'm like, yeah. He like, oh, what session you here for? I'm like, I'm here for Game session. You feel me? Like, he like, oh, okay, come on. Like, I walk right in. You feel me? I'm like, where the studio at? Like, he showed me. I walk right in the studio. Game is in the booth. I go all the way to the end of the studio because I'm like looking for Game and shit. I don't see this nigga. So I go all the way to the end of the studio and I turn around and this nigga in the booth. You feel me? So bro looking at me through the glass in the booth like, who
the fuck is this nigga right
I'm in there all red, everything, head to toe. You feel me? Bro come out like, he like, who is you? I'm like, I'm OSBE Chill. Like, you feel me? Like, what you do? Like, I'm like, I do music. You feel me? Then Stat come in, will introduce us, all of that shit. He like, oh, put some of your shit up. I play like 30 seconds of my song. He stopped the shit. Like, I want you to go on tour with me, and I'm about to put you on this album. So that's how I ended up on the 1992. That's the first album.
That's
I'm
right.
really
That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
you feel me?
Wow. That was the that wasn't the double jointed album, right?
Nah, that was the one before that, the documentary.
That's what
too.
I'm thinking. Okay, 2 and 2.5.
Yeah,
Gotcha,
so
gotcha.
1992 came out after that.
You're right.
And that was my debut on there.
Damn, but just off of 30 seconds, bro. And I think
Yeah, it took me on tour, all that shit.
Bro,
I thought he was cap. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, this nigga cold. Like, you feel me?
people gotta give
Playing with a nigga's
Game
dreams
his
and shit.
credit, right? People gotta give Game his credit for that, man, because I mean, for him not to know you at all, to then take you on tour, put you on an album, and that kind of speaks volumes about his personality at that point.
And more. Like, he became one of my best friends.
Yeah.
Like, you feel me? Like, bro give me a lot of game. I could call bro whenever I want. You
Yeah.
feel me? Chop it up with him if I need advice for stuff like that. You feel me, bro? People don't know that he is like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Unless you know him. Like,
I'm glad you spoke to that, because again, some people have reputations, or people think they know who the artist is, and it's like, no. I've heard that from a number of people. You know what I'm saying? Just a solid individual. So shouts out to Game.
And he don't want nothing from
and don't want nothing from you.
He gonna let you know that. Like, I don't want nothing. I ain't trying to take no money from you, nothing. Like, you feel me? I'm gonna show you different people, this, that, and the other. And
Yeah.
you do what you do.
Were you in those sessions with him and Ye when they did that song?
I was in those sessions. I wasn't in that particular session.
Gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha.
that day. Yeah.
Oh my God, man! I feel like there's so much, man. There's so much to your story, bro. There's so much to your story. I remember Python P playing some music. We did the live and direct on the live, man. And Bro, man, I remember one joint we played over and over over and over. He was like, "Hey, man, don't tell nobody I sent you this record. I want you to hear." I'm like, he was putting me up on you. I'm like, nigga, I know who this is though. Like, but I mean, it speaks volumes that people are going to bat for you that you may or may not even know. You understand? It speaks volumes about your character or whatnot.
Python reached out to me too. Like I ain't been knowing him that long.
Yeah.
You feel me? And we built that whole project together, and it ended up coming out crazy.
Right. So how do you navigate through this business that they deem as fake, right? You deem bad relationships, all the typical shit that does happen in this business. But how do you manage to keep and cultivate great relationships with people that you are around, whether it be your team or just people that you link with, working with, to make not only the good music but just fostering those relationships?
I probably say God for one, and like for two, it's just like depending on the type of person. You feel me? Like that. Like if I'm understood, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so it'd be like we could connect on a certain level. Like we understand each other. So that I feel like that creates the relationship and the bond, you know what I'm saying?
What do you think the biggest misconception about OSBE Chill is?
That I'm crazy.
You're not crazy?
I wouldn't call myself crazy.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
The other motherfucker might am, but I wouldn't say it. But
but I have done some crazy things that people probably witnessed, but
when was the last time you wilded out and was like, And in those moments, are you able to kind of like pull it together, or is like once you get past a certain level, there's no stopping you?
Man, I was at I forget what studio that was. I think it was Atlantic Records actually. One of Atlantic Records studio. I was at a Lil Xan session.
Oh shit, Stat Quo.
Yeah. We had the same manager at the time. You feel me? So I'm chilling with Xan, and like somebody I'm with, basically like, bro, I seen some dude that I don't even know picking on the homie a grown man, but he ain't like that. You feel me? Right. Like, and the nigga was doing some wild stuff, bro. Like, so I ended up wilding out on that, on that, and that ended up being like a big talk, like through like the little industry people that I knew, like, and they was like, yeah, they made me look bad, but really I was defending
somebody. That's not even a bad thing, but I see how it can be looked at.
It was just like, come on, bro, like, you feel me? You can't just be going up to the studio, you feel me, beating people.
I was defending though.
Yeah, that don't even sound right.
So you mentioned earlier when I asked you who's OSBE Chill, and I love the fact that you started off with a father, right? And I do this thing called Dad Advice. I always like to talk to fathers so they can give me advice. And not just me, but other fathers' advice on fatherhood. So what dad advice does OSBE Chill have for myself as a father and other fathers out there?
I mean, I could only speak from my point of view. You feel me? And I would say the two words that come to mind is patience and consistency. Feel me?
Patience meaning
like understanding, you feel me? Like sitting there observing, like, you feel me, a situation, you feel me? Like, or just like trying to, like, even like me, I observe my kids and just see like the type of stuff they do, watch, you feel me? I just sit back like and let them be they self, you feel me? But I observe because I want to know what they like so I can, feed into that. Like, you know what I mean? And, I don't know. I'm new to this. My son, he's 7. And my daughter, she about to turn 2 in November. You know what I'm saying? So,
what's the difference between having a boy and a girl? For you?
Man, like my son, I don't know. My perception of having a son and a daughter, I thought was gonna be completely. It would end up being completely opposite of what I thought. Like my son is super chill. You feel me? Laid back. He ain't really trying to do too much.
My
like
daughter's the wild child.
Daughter.
The wild
she wrestling with him.
That's wild.
Yeah, she a pandemic baby too.
Oh
so
yeah, she's a different level of turn.
Walking around the house with baskets and got her purse on her shoulder, all that she won.
Oh, she bench pressing the crib and shit. Nah, you know what? What's funny is that I'm dealing with the having the second kid, and I got 2 boys, but I'm just now realizing that And only one person told, which I'm kind of mad about. People that have multiple kids, only one person told me this. They were like, "Yeah, your second one's gonna be different than your first one." I'm like, man, I got this child. Man, I got this daddy thing on lock.
Yeah, for real.
I got another boy, so boom, that's cookie cut the same thing. I got a completely different child than my first son. It's the biggest blessing, but it's like I wasn't ready for that.
Nah,
so it's like I'm still learning on the fly. Like, oh, you don't sleep through the night. My first one slept through the night. Second one, he's up at all hours. He's turned up. So it's like I had to adjust to that. So, okay, you said patience.
Yeah. So, that's where the patience comes.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to take that in, patience, because but it's hard to have patience at 3 a.m. when you need some sleep.
No, I know.
They gonna lie.
My daughter do the same thing. She do the exact same thing.
So you say consistency. Consistency meaning what?
I mean, you could be consistent in a lot of things, like providing for sure. For one, you feel me?
Like you'll be there, man.
Like
yeah.
You can't call yourself a parent if
Right.
you're not, consistently being there
Right.
and providing. You know what I mean? Even if it's providing your time.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to be consistent at a lot of stuff. Like that's probably like a whole nother book that should be
Itself,
written.
yeah. All right, you got a lot of projects under your belt, man, and I'm just gonna run off some names, and you tell me to the best of your ability, something that is something about the project and what you feel like you want the consumer to get. Okay? If they haven't pressed play on it just yet. Los Ultimos. Did I say it right?
Yeah, Los Ultimos.
What's funny is I was playing that shit on live, and I was like, Los Alamitos. I was like, my dumbass. I said it on live. Yeah, man, it's the hump, man. OSBE chill going up, Los Alamitos. I know he's not from there, but man, hey, salute to the homie. And I looked, I said, oh shit, Los Ultimos. I was saying that shit all wrong, man. Featuring El Camino, man. So talk about that project, bro.
That project I went and recorded in Miami.
Oh wow.
Yeah, at the House of Hits.
Damn.
El Camino met me out there. You feel me? And we just knocked that whole album out there. Probably like we kind of was already working on it, and then we was like, we're gonna finish it in Miami.
Is a different energy when you record in different places like that for you per se, or is it for you the same across the board? However you record, like when you creating different bodies of work.
Well, yeah, it was because I went out there thinking like nobody knew who I was.
Oh wow.
And I pull up in the studio and like the fucking interns like,
OSBE,
like,
OSBE.
I'm like, oh shit. Like,
You're like, yeah, it's me. Yeah.
I'm like, you talk about me.
Yeah.
But nah, yeah. So that made me kind of comfortable, but it's definitely a different vibe. Like, I recorded in North Carolina, out there with Doe too. Yeah. That was a different vibe. But yeah, like Miami, I don't know, it's just a little more peaceful. I'm from LA, so it's like I ain't really worried about too much
right.
when I'm somewhere else. You know what I'm saying?
No, you don't have to look over your back or anything.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Harsh Reality. And we going back for the people that don't know. These are the two that you dropped this year. All right, Harsh Reality.
Harsh Reality was it was my way of explaining, like, I go through a bunch of stuff all the time, you know what I'm saying, that people don't know. But I'm still able to put out music like this with big features and, Benny the Butcher, The Game, features like that. Like, I'm still blessed to be able to do that, but I'm living in a harsh reality, though.
That's crazy, man. And the fact that you're making it happen while all these things are happening to you, man, I think it's a true testament to who you are. Now, I got to ask this because you said you randomly ran into Bobby Womack Jr. All right, you got C.S. Armstrong on there, right? And
that's my guy.
He low-key to me, he sounds like Louis Armstrong.
Yeah.
Is there any relation?
Nah, but that's why he put the Armstrong.
Okay, I was about to say, don't tell me. Oh yeah, that's his nephew. Like, damn, it's OSBE. You know what I'm saying? You linked up with.
That's why
he
got
played
the
on the name.
Armstrong
Got it. Got you.
Yeah, and I don't want to go too deep into how the stories with him and stuff, but yeah, that's my bro. You feel me? Like that song Warzone was a special song too.
Yeah, I like that, man. 38 Special on there as well. Joey Fats on there also. You mentioned The Game. Benny the Butcher, man. Talk about your relationship with Benny, man. That song is fire, by the way. But
shout out to Joey Fats too.
And Joey Fats, man.
It's my childhood friend.
Really?
Yeah, been knowing Joey since middle school. Went to the same middle school together.
Get the fuck out of here.
Swear to God.
He's from Long Beach,
He's
though,
from
right?
Long Beach. Yeah, my mom's side of the family is from Long Beach.
Oh, so you grew up in Long Beach, or you just kind of went back and forth?
I went, my mom was using my grandparents' address type thing, you feel me? But I was living in the jungles the whole time. So I got like the best of both worlds.
So we're just gonna use this to send you over there.
Yeah.
Now that's good to have a relationship with somebody like that over the years and kind of see you guys both elevating in the same space, man. So that's dope.
Definitely.
You guys be looking to link up on that.
But yeah, Benny, I'm just now like, linking up with Benny and stuff. It's crazy because I had DM'd him probably in like, what was that, 2021? And I told him that we was gonna work one day.
Wow. Which I'm sure he gets all the time too.
Yeah, but to my surprise, he DM'd me back. It was like, send me some heat. I was like, oh shit.
He's like, oh shit. So okay, he sends you that. What's the record you send him?
I didn't send him nothing.
Get the OSBE. What the hell?
Well, my theory was, like, at the time, it was a lot of rappers doing, like, the scam stuff through the DMs, like, saying that they was going to give you features, all of that. So I wasn't trusting it, for one. For two, I was like, nah, this ain't how it's going to be, though. I'm going to work with you, but not through Instagram.
Got it. No, that makes sense.
And then I ended up connecting with bro in real life.
Did you, hey man, you had to pull it, hey man, was this you for real? You said,
I don't even think I don't know. We ain't had that conversation yet.
Oh, that's funny. No, because a lot of people, I'm sorry, I'll be seeing a lot of people post that too. Like, yeah, Fat Joe DM'd me or Jadakiss DM'd me talking about we gonna get on the project and we gonna work. And it's like, bruh, that ain't, for 500, that ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying?
Nah,
like,
for real.
They ain't gonna just reach out to you, ask for 500 to make that happen, bro.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's not going that way.
You might not get that verse.
You might not get that verse. So you link up, you see each other, in person, obviously. And you said you knew it wasn't gonna work that way. How did you have the confidence and the patience to be able to say, okay, it's gonna work out in the way it's supposed to? Because a lot of people would jump at that opportunity, especially when they say send music back. So how did you have to know how to be like, all right, nah, it's gonna happen a different way?
Like you said, like I've been meeting celebs and all my life.
You your first rodeo, yeah.
Yeah, in my first rodeo. So I just wanted it to be like more organic. You know what I mean? I didn't know if it was gonna happen or not, but I just knew like that's not the way I wanted it to happen.
I'm glad it happened the way you've kind of visioned and it played out your way. That's right. Dope. All right, on the thing, the albums, man, True to Self. Talk to us about True to Self.
True to Self is an album that I wasn't too true to myself.
What you mean?
It's so True to Self is the album where I decided to stop lying to myself and start working on myself and my faults and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Being accountable.
Being accountable. Holding myself accountable. True to Self is about holding myself accountable.
So for you, what was one of those things? Because you mentioned earlier about blaming the label and all these things, right? So does that play into this as well, being true to self, or is this completely different?
Yeah, definitely. Like it was,
What's one of those things or character traits or things that you have to say, okay, I have to work on this and I can't hide from it no more?
Well, thinking that I can handle situations like how I handle situations in the streets, in the industry.
Two different
That's
things.
a no-no.
Yeah.
You feel me? And then I would say like alcohol and shit like that. You feel me? It was in the way.
Are you sober or are you just kind of cut down? Or
I smoke weed, but I stopped drinking alcohol.
How long?
This probably coming up to be my like 23rd day or something.
Congratulations, man.
24th day.
That's fire, bro. I like to hear that. So True to Self, you were addressing these things, kind of come to realization like you have an issue, right? And you took it upon yourself, 23 days ago to say, okay, I'm cutting it completely?
Yeah, it was hard. I didn't realize that I really was just drinking way too much. And like that shit started getting bad, you feel me? To where it was just like, I just felt like I needed it to do everything.
Got it.
You know what I mean? And then once I realized that I didn't, and I made the decision to be like, I ain't never drinking again. Like, you feel me? Once I made the decision, it's over with. Like, you feel me? Like,
does that carry on to everything in your life as far as?
Yeah, it's been a lot of things that I just let go and it's just like, that was bad for me. You feel me? Like, so yeah, alcohol was probably like the last one that I was able to get the fuck out the way. Is
this your first time kind of going cold turkey, like stopping completely, or had you stopped before? And
my first time being like clear-headed in a long ass time, bro.
Really?
I ain't gonna lie.
That's fire. I'm coming up on 7 years of being sober off alcohol too, and it was the same thing. Like there were things that were kind of happening in my life was like, yo, this ain't the best for you. Like, you shouldn't be in these situations. And it kept happening over and over. And for me, I would stop, go back harder than I had stopped, and then go back. And then it took, I mean, I give credit to Head all the time. And it took a conversation with him for me to be like, all right, you know what? In addition to all these things that had happened, like, God is only going to give you so many reminders before, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
You have to kind of live with that, right? Mm-hmm. And, you know, 7 years and next month. So I applaud that sobriety, bro. That's fire. And I think that anybody else that's kind of going on that journey, they can kind of learn from that. Is there something that you can kind of like a little nugget on that end to kind of give people too? Because not a lot of people have that discipline in them. Yeah. Is there any tips that you can give somebody that's kind of dealing with that right now in terms of like going cold turkey and just stopping?
Well, I kind of like, so I basically just replaced one addiction for another addiction. You feel
Smoking
me?
weed more?
Nah, I start working out more.
I like that. That's a better choice. That's a better choice.
I don't smoke too much because I get nervous when I smoke too much.
You a paranoid smoker too?
Yeah.
I'm a paranoid
so I hit my little joints and I'm good. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this. Can you smoke in crowds or no?
No.
It's like at home,
I'm gonna have hella anxiety. Like, I gotta be home. Yeah,
bro. I'm sorry. I don't smoke often, but it's the same way. I'm like, I'm not a social smoker. I'm not one of those, man. I'm smoking and going to sleep. That's it. Like I'll do that. But yeah, that's good to know. But
sure.
You say replacing one thing for the next. So you replaced it with working out.
Yeah, I replaced it. I just start because I was already stopping a little bit. But then I start drinking a little bit more, you feel me? But I was working out at the same time. Mm. And like I said, first you got to make that decision to just be like, I ain't fucking with this shit no more. Like, you feel me? Like, once you make that decision in your mind, you know that you ain't gonna do it. You feel me? Because you just know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when you be like, oh, man, I need to stop drinking. Mm-hmm.
It's
like you telling yourself you need to, but you know you're not finna stop. You feel me? Like, you feel me? But when you tell yourself, it's like, nah, that's it. Feel me? I ain't fucking with that shit no more. And that's basically what I did. You feel me? And then I just start watching a bunch of YouTube videos on what alcohol does to you and your body, your health, your mental, and all of that. And that motivated me even more because I literally didn't know all of that. You know what I mean? Like,
that alcohol kind of like destroyed, like
bro. I started learning like what alcohol does, and that shit motivated me even more, like to like not drink and like push not drinking to my peers and stuff too. Yeah. Like,
no, I know a lot of alcoholics, man, and one of the things that I've noticed is how old niggas look.
You start
like, bro, how old are you? Like, oh, you look like you 50, but you 27? That's crazy.
That boy stressing out.
Stressing the fuck out. Like,
and see, that's what alcohol do too. It causes depression.
Yeah.
All type of stuff. You feel me? So you thinking you kind of like coping with whatever you dealing with. Like, if you was a drinker like me, you know, I drink when I'm trying to deal with some shit.
Yeah.
You know, and you think you coping with it, but then when the drink is gone,
you still
right
dealing
back
with
dealing with that
issue,
problem. You feel me? And what I noticed from not drinking, like now when I deal with shit, I really deal with it.
Yeah.
And I'm done with it.
And it's good to just beat it head on right then and there.
Exactly. You feel me? Because now it's like behind me. You know what I'm saying? But with alcohol, that shit prolongs your problem.
I love the fact that you realize that though, because it takes people years to figure that out, and then sometimes when it's time for them to let go of it, they have a hard time because it really affects they body functions. Like,
it wasn't easy.
Withdrawals is crazy,
God, especially that the first couple days.
Yeah,
you feel me? Once I got to day 3, I'm looking at every liquor store I pass. Like, man,
I just want to taste, baby.
Get a little bottle of tequila. I'm like, nah, that shit gonna lead to another bottle.
Yeah, nah. I'm glad you stayed strong to that. That's dope. All right, Soul Rap 1 and 2. Soul Rap 1 and 2.
That's something me and Doe like coined that term. You feel me? Mm-hmm. Soul Rap. And
that's what you feel like you do.
Yeah, like you know, that's what the homie always tell me. Like, he like, yeah, you like a what you say? What's the word? Yeah, soulful street poet type. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm sorry to cut you off. Did you start off writing poetry as a kid?
I did write poetry.
I was gonna say you strike me as one of those type of people, and not in the bad way, not in the bad way, but it's like the way you paint pictures. It's of somebody that's not, like you said in the beginning, you were just putting things together, but there had to be some inspiration from that prior. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I didn't call it poetry. We called it spoken word.
Oh, you was one of the
So
snap,
my
snap?
dad used to listen to a lot of you feel me? My dad used to listen to a lot of what's that spoken word group name, man?
From Watts.
Last Poets. The Last Poets, you feel me?
Yep.
I used to, with them drunk nigga.
Yeah, nigga.
All of that. You feel
In
me?
your
So,
area.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You feel me? So I came up off that. So originally, like, I'm trying to, get into that type of stuff. He had a lounge in Lamert Park.
Oh, fire.
Where he had open mic. So I would go do my poetry there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like I got a lot of reactions from that. And then I started going into the rap. But I always was doing hip hop. But I just made beats at first.
Producer too.
Yeah, I started off producing. Like, it was the first thing I ever did. Yeah, like.
Damn. So did you? Okay. So when was the decision to say, okay, let me take? And was it out of necessity, or was it just you had an interest in making music from that standpoint?
Well, I was already like in band and all of that type of stuff. I was in the honors band, performing with like the best musicians in the district.
You played for the president one year, huh?
The mayor.
I knew it. I knew it. This nigga's stories get interesting. I knew it.
Yeah, the mayor.
We just gonna peel back layer by layer.
My band. I had my own jazz band. You feel me? And they invited my band to play at one of the
what was
council
the name
meetings.
of the jazz band?
We didn't even have a name.
Okay.
We didn't even have a jazz band at our school. So the whole reason why, and they wouldn't give us like a jazz band, period.
Mm-hmm.
So my teacher, which was my bass player of the band,
Mm-hmm.
we put a band together, and he like, look, I got us to be able to perform at lunch. Y'all just got to perform.
Figure it out.
Yeah. To where it was so good that once the mayor had came to talk at our school, you feel me, with like Willie McGinnis and all these other people, and they wanted us to perform now, you feel me? And then, that's how we ended up getting the invite to the little council meeting and all that, and I ended up doing
Crazy,
that.
bro.
But so that's what got me into the beats and all that, because because I was going to Poly High for a little bit in Long Beach.
Because you lived in Long Beach?
Because I lived out there too, yeah. And
you lived in Long Beach?
I ended up getting kicked out of there. And so Mom's was like, oh, you go back to the jungles with your daddy, you feel me? So then I checked into Dorsey, which was like a blessing, because when I checked into Dorsey, they had a music program, but it was like the last year that they was going to keep the music program.
Snap.
And it was a whole studio built at the school that people didn't even know that Kanye West built. You feel me? It was like a whole Kanye West foundation and all of this stuff. You feel me? So I met Lil Romeo. He came to speak at the school, all type of shit. Like, it was crazy, bro. But so that's when I learned Reasons at the school, because they was
the
teaching us
software.
the program.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just started making beats. I started telling people, I made beats and all that. I believe I showed Mustard his first beat program, because we went to Dorsey together.
Wait a minute.
I mean, I don't know if I was
Wait a minute.
showing the first one.
No. Hold on, Osby. We using this for the clickbait. Osby Chill taught DJ Mustard how to make beats. That's what we doing.
I ain't gonna say I taught him. You feel me? Like,
but you showed
I ain't
him
trying
that.
to take his credit.
You showed him the program.
I definitely showed him the Reasons program and what I was making beats on, and he didn't know what any of that was.
That's
at the time. You feel me? And we went to Dorsey together.
That's right, because obviously people that don't know, DJ T, is his uncle, and
Exactly,
he was more like the hardware. He was
Mustard was already
and all
DJing
that.
and all of that.
Wow.
All the school parties and all through LA.
But it makes sense, because that at that time the software and the digital shit wasn't like the thing. It was coming in, but not everybody was really embracing it to that sense. So
I had no idea that was finna happen, bro. If I did, I probably would have leaned a little more
into it,
but it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Like,
that is good that you kind of understood where your path in life is and was at the time, and it was going, the trajectory, and not holding on to that. I was having a conversation with Epic about letting go and understanding like what's for you and what's not for you, and being okay with that. And a lot of times when you release that, more blessings come to you. A lot of people hold on to, whether it be relationships or things that they do, like, damn, man, if I was just making beats, I could have been this. It's like, well, no, that wasn't for you. So that's why you have these blessings, and you randomly meet Bobby Womack Jr. You know what I'm saying? You have all these opportunities and things that happen, and it's so dope to kind of hear it, get displayed through your story. You know what I'm saying? I think you got an interesting one, man. Let's keep it going. Soul Rap 1 and 2, we talked about that. What about Nostradamus?
Yeah, Nostradamus.
Nostradamus, my bad.
That's my guy. You know, basically that is a play off Nostradamus.
Of course.
Which is like, you know, he predicted the future or whatever. You feel me? So that was like, I called it Nostradamus. You feel me? Because I'm a blood.
Really?
Yeah.
Had no idea. Had no idea at all, OSBE.
But yeah, for the people that didn't know.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it was like me predicting like what you know, all those other albums you named.
Yeah, was gonna be.
Yeah, exactly.
That's wild. That's wild. Okay, and then Ball Game.
Ball Game was okay. Ball Game was the album that I made after I got dropped from Interscope.
Mm.
You feel me? Yeah, that was the album that I made free.
So you weren't, at that moment, you weren't really holding yourself accountable. You're a fresh talent.
So look, I'm gonna tell you about it. I was depressed as hell, like, you feel me? And I called Game and I was like, yo, they finally dropped me from the label. Like, you feel me? He's like, congratulations, nigga. I'm like,
free.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, you free.
That's not the response I was looking for. Like, you feel me? But I'm like, what you mean? He like, you finally free, nigga. You do whatever you want now. And that shit clicked in my mind. And I had all these unreleased songs. And I just put all of them on one project, and that's Ball Game. So I'm like, yeah, play ball, nigga. Like, let's go.
And you got songs like Grow Drip. You got
exactly.
Cold Blooded. You got Put It On. You got I like this one. Like I'm Shook. So it's like kind of talk about your mindset at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I I don't know if they gonna be. I'm pretty sure they don't care if I said this story, but I was at Dr. Dre's studio, and they had brought this my boy King Ice had brought a chain for Dr. Dre. You feel me? Like a gift, you know what I'm saying? And it's a Death Row piece.
Oh, snap.
And like, I don't know what Dre said to him, but I know he put him to the side and was like, hey man, and then he slid the box, you feel me? So I'm like, damn, he don't want that shit, like, you feel me? So I'm looking at him in Game, and I'm like, man, that piece is nice though.
I mean, I low key, you know what I mean?
You feel me? You know I'm a dumb move, you know. Like, nah, but yeah, so long story short, bro, they ended up giving me the chain. They're like, the whole session though, they didn't even tell me that they was gonna give it to me. And right before everybody was leaving and the session was over, Game turned around and was like, Osby, grab your chain. And I was like, oh shit.
That's right.
Threw that motherfucker in my bag. And
I like the fact that you didn't even ask, like, hey, what chain? He's like, you already knew.
I knew which one it is that they was talking about. Like,
yeah, bro.
But yeah, and I ended up getting that piece, and then King Ice hit me the next day, thought I stole it and all this other stuff. Like, you feel me? But we squared that away. Like, I need some new pieces too. If you listening to this, if you come across this.
So I wanna stand on there for a second, because not everybody has that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And we talked about different opportunities that you've had, but you found yourself in the studio with Dr. Dre.
Yeah,
and
not just answer your question before you go there. That's why I made the Like I'm Shook song.
Got it.
Because I had the piece. You feel me?
You had the whole. You had the whole kit. It was there.
Yeah.
The Death Row kit. They had the Death Row kit. You know what I'm saying? Big B's everywhere. Okay.
Yeah.
You in the studio with Dr. Dre, and unlike a lot of people that I've seen in the studio, right? Or because even I got the pick with Dr. Dre, right? I'm one of those fortunate people that got the picture. You know what I'm saying? He does the standard, you know what I'm saying, like that's standard Dre pose. But you got not only the footage, right? But him listening to the music, the co-sign, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that moment for you, man. Take us through that moment of what was going on prior to that, and are you nervous playing the music for him? Like I want you to kind of relive that moment for the people that need context for that moment.
That moment was crazy because I wake up, it's my birthday, everybody telling me happy birthday and shit. This nigga Game called me. Happy birthday, nigga, what you on today? I'm like, shit, I don't know, I'm trying to figure it out. He just sent me an address, like, meet me here. I'm like, all right, bet. I don't know where I'm going, where I'm meeting him at, but I pull up and I go in the studio and all of that, you feel me? I'm signing like NDAs and something like, the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
You feel me? Go into this room and it's fucking Dr. Dre. Like, I get introduced to Dr. Dre. I'm like, oh shit, like, you feel me? Like,
wasn't expecting this.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah.
Like, you feel me? He like, what's up? I'm Dre. I'm like, nigga,
I know who you are.
is,
I hate when celebrities do that shit. Like, I don't know who you are. Like,
Yeah.
bro, I know. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to get that off.
Yeah, nah. So I ended up, you know, we introduced ourselves, whatever, and then he like, come on, let's go in the studio, let's work. And I think at the time we was actually mixing. It's like a little bit after Nip had passed, so we was mixing Nipsey's verse on Game's album. On the what album was that?
Born to Rap?
Exactly. You feel me? Was mixing that verse. You feel me? And then you know, it was a good time. I'm still sitting there and I smoked with Snoop Dogg too. Snoop was there.
Gotta have that.
Yeah, I'm like, I go up to Snoop like it's my birthday,
I
bro.
gotta
Like,
do it,
you know,
yeah.
I gotta smoke one with you. Like, he pulled.
Hi, I'm Osby, by the way. But I gotta smoke with you, Snoop.
I don't know where he pulled that joint from, but I know he just was like.
Snoop got just random
smoking
blunts.
one. This shit was already lit and all that. I'm like, yo, like damn. But
I like how he not sharing it. He just give you your own blunt.
Yeah, you
That's
feel me?
fire.
Like he gave my own blunt that we just sitting there chopping it up. You feel me? Like and yeah, bro, it was crazy, bro. Game, Dre, and Snoop all in one room. It was wild.
For your birthday.
On my birthday.
How do you top that birthday? Like,
You don't.
you don't. Anybody that's thinking about giving Osby something for his birthday, you can't top that. But but going from that moment, it you know, it was just, it's one of those things that I know stays with you, right?
Yeah, and after that, I've been there several times too. So
Right.
that actual video footage wasn't even the day of my birthday. You feel me? That was like
Really?
another day. Like, you feel me? That I went up there.
So that was the introduction to Dre was for your birthday, and then that
Yeah.
footage that
Was
we
like
see.
the following couple days. Like, yeah, and
Wow.
I ended up playing my music. He was like, yeah, anybody want to play something? I'm
Yeah.
like, shit, hell yeah.
Of course, why not? Why not?
Yeah, he like, better not be weak. And then y'all see the video.
In that moment where you nervous, like, damn, what if this don't go the way I
And I was
anticipate?
sweating bullets. I'm like, if Dre diss me right now, it's over.
On camera.
Yeah,
That's
you
it.
feel me? It's over.
Lights out, man. Nah, but that's dope that you had that moment, and that's something that nobody, like, regardless, nobody can take from you. What's funny is that I feel like everybody has not everybody. Anybody who has the honor of meeting Dre has that similar story. The reason I met him was for Big Boy's birthday.
Okay.
And same thing. They didn't tell us what we were doing. We just get hey, come to this address. We're like, fuck is this? All right, whatever. Go to the address. Same situation. Now you got to sign this before you walk in. Like, and it looked like a country club. So I'm just like, okay,
Yeah.
we're here at a country club just to celebrate his birthday. I walk in, look to the left. Hey, what's up? I'm Dre. Nigga, I know who you are. What are you? Yeah, come on in. We got the whole, and it was a celebration for Big, and it was one of those just dope moments because somebody that you look up to, an icon, obviously, you just see that they're just regular people, and you know, the tour, the house, like all the things that you would want to have as an experience of meeting somebody like that. We had that, but it's so funny. It all leads into the same thing. It's like super secretive. Hey, I'm this person. Yes, nigga, we know who you are. That's crazy. And then just them being a super solid person, man, and showing you that love. So I'm glad you got a chance to experience that.
Anybody that know Dre know you ain't getting in there with no cameras.
No, not at all. That
was my cameraman.
I was surprised to see that too.
You feel me?
Yeah, because I for sure use somebody else's camera to get that picture. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't sure if that was gonna happen. Okay, so as we keep going with the albums, I want to talk about Dogma as well.
Dogma was the album. Well, really, okay, if I talk about Dogma, I gotta just fast forward to From the Very Bottom. Okay, so From the Very Bottom was the album that I made when I knew Interscope wasn't about to drop any of my music. Feel me? And like a lot of my budgets and shit was tampered with and all type of stuff. But From the Very Bottom was the album that's self-explanatory. It was like, okay, I'm losing this deal, but I ain't finna let this shit stop me. You feel me? I started from the bottom before. I'm gonna start from the bottom again. Yeah. So that's when I had put that shit out. Like, you feel me? And then Dogma was me basically not fucking with Interscope like that. Dogma was the album that I recorded while Game was making Born to Rap. So while Game was making Born to Rap, I was recording Dogma too. So that's why Game is on Dogma.
Got it.
Me?
Yeah. Damn,
that
man.
song was actually going to be on Born to Rap, and he gave it to me.
Again, talking about things that people don't know, like that just speaks volume of his character. Not only that, of what he thinks of you, and that speaks to volumes of who you are, right? You know what I'm saying? You just don't do that for anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, facts.
I don't know. I love this history lesson because it's like people are getting a sense of like who you are and the type of person that you are. Now, as we go on throughout the years, you know, you've learned all these lessons. You're holding yourself accountable. Moving forward, all right, what do you want to make sure the year can't end without OSBE Chill doing what?
This year?
Yep. Because I hear you got a lot of music tucked.
Oh, yeah.
I hear
a lot.
Like a lot.
That's an understatement.
So, okay, first of all, before you answer that, your process of recording, do you just knock out batches of shit, or you just are holding on to a lot of music? Like, what's the process when it comes to recording for you?
Well, I am holding on to a lot of music too, but like, so let's say, so every OSBE Chill session, I'm pretty much in a certain mood, and I know the type of stuff that I'm trying to make, like the message that I'm trying to deliver today. And usually, like, it's always, the first song is like a warm-up song. The first hour, I'm done with that, you feel me? Then the next 2 songs is like probably going to be the best songs that I make that night.
And you already know that that's your process and how you record.
Yeah, you feel me? Because the first one is like me just like
warming up the vocal.
Yeah, just warming up and like, you feel me? Just getting my brain going and stuff, you know what I mean? Like, and then it'd be like, okay, like, oh, I like that vibe. And then I say something that triggered like something like, oh, I should make a song about this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that usually goes, like, I probably made about 5-6 songs in one session before, but it usually stops at around 3-4.
Okay. Now I want to fast forward to the year can't end without OSBE Chill doing what? Because I feel like you're a very powerful, and I could be wrong.
That's what I'm sitting here thinking. Like, let me choose what I say wisely.
You seem like you're very intentional with your words, and that the things that you do think about actually happen. So, are there things that you have currently on a bucket list, or like, yo, I gotta make sure that happens?
The year can't end without OSBE Chill being mentioned in these blogger conversations of LA music.
So let me ask you this: why is that important to you?
Because I'm from LA, and I feel like it'd be a lot of favoritism and people, you know, choosing and picking, you know, their little list off of who deals with them.
Got it.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So, for lack of better words, like, you feel me? If you ride this dude coattail, of course he gonna put you on his list.
Right.
Like, you feel me? Like, and it's I see a lot of that happening. You feel me?
Yeah.
I don't want to be on no list.
Gotcha.
I don't care to be on the list. If I am on the list, like, I'm grateful. You feel me? For, you know, being mentioned. But I'm just talking about in the conversations of LA rap, period. Like, you feel me? For one, I don't feel like nobody in LA is making music like me. 2, I ain't seen nobody else with a lot of legendary people around them.
Right.
From LA.
From LA, yeah.
Like, low-key, like, not even low-key, high-key, the gatekeepers. You feel me? And I don't know. I just feel like they gotta put some more respect on my name. But it's okay. I'm willing to work for it.
Yeah.
You feel me?
And that's what I love about you is that I haven't seen you complain about that, right? You mention it right now because we're talking about that's what you want, right? But I haven't seen, at least from my perspective, I haven't seen you lash out and call people out for that. And maybe you have, and maybe I missed it.
You gotta thank him.
Jungleography, man. Shouts out to the homie,
I always
man.
call him before I think about making the decision. You feel me? He'd be like, nah, bro.
Don't do it.
That.
I got my page shut down the other day, man. You know how this go. Shout out to
so
Jungleography, man.
I'm pretty sure he'll tell you it's been plenty of times that I didn't call him like, man, I want to get at this dude. Like, you feel me? He like, nah. And yeah, he right. Like it's better to just let your music and your success speak for you. You know what I'm saying?
And what like you said, it's similar to the Benny the Butcher situation. It ain't supposed to happen that way.
If it's not happening for me, it's not for me.
Right. I love that, man. And I think that you will get that just due. I think that just playing it from this side, sometimes there's just so much out there. It's hard to kind of like decipher what's what and who's who. Now, I will say the thing that you have on your end is that you have a catalog. And that's why I went through all of the music that you have.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We just scratching the surface. So I want people to go back and dive into the catalog and even things, you know, I've known you for a couple of years, but I've learned so much just by this conversation. And a lot of times it's out of sight, out of mind. And I'm glad we're able to have this dialogue because it's like I'm learning so much about you and it's like, oh damn, a lot of shit that's relatable. It's like, damn, Drink, I didn't know you were sober. You know what I'm saying? Like different things about your personality that we don't always get from the music sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And that's no excuse. I mean, I feel like you do have to be tapped in and figure out what's out there. But I'm glad that you listen to sound advice like that and not kind of fly off the ledge because it doesn't serve you. And it's not on some blackball shit, but it just doesn't serve you as an individual. Like you all the shit, literally the things that are meant for you comes to you based off of your energy. So I'm glad that you kind of like listen to that sound advice. Now, last thing I kind of want to get into, we've been kind of like doing this recurring question. What's a good business card track for OSBE Chill? For somebody that's either watching this interview for the first time, figuring out who you are, like what do you feel like is the best representation of OSBE Chill? If you have to sum it up in one track, not an album, just a business card track that you would tell them, okay, press play on this, and then that's a good introduction to who OSBE Chill is, the best representation.
As far as like one of my songs?
One of your songs, yep. I hope you wouldn't give me a song for somebody else.
I mean,
if it inspires,
Tupac, yeah.
True, I give you that. I give you that. But no, an OSBE Chill song, a business card track from OSBE Chill, best representation of who you are as of today.
This is me.
This is me.
The song "This Is Me" on Soul Rap.
Soul Rap, okay.
Yeah.
Dive into why.
Because I was more like, if you listen to Soul Rap, I started expressing more about how I grew up Muslim. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to, I got knowledge of self, but like just tapping more into that because, when you grow up in different areas and stuff, people look at that shit like square shit. You know what I mean? Like having some type of knowledge. I don't know why, but right. Yeah. So like that verse on "This Is Me" and that whole album was like me like getting back to my roots. You feel me? Like this is the honest to God truth of who I am. Like, you know what I mean? Like
how does faith play into your music?
Oh, it played a big role in my music. I mean, I think just growing up, I just, my dad is a real Muslim. You feel me? Like pray 5 times a day, do everything you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? So I grew up in a strict household. You know what I mean? So I would rebel a lot, and that's what led me to have a lot of problems and go through a lot of stuff that my dad was trying to keep me from. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it played a role in my music. Faith played a role in my music because of when I took the faith out, that's when all that bad shit was happening.
Yeah.
But when I put the faith back in, is when all the great stuff happened. You feel me? Man. So, yeah.
Perfect way to put it. I love it. Can't remember what song. I think it's the one with KB Divine, but you have a song that says, or the lyric says, "The quiet one in the room, but I'm him now."
Oh, yeah.
Speak to that.
Well, anybody that know, for one, my name OSBE Chill because I'm just like
chill,
more laid back. Yeah, you feel me? And for anybody that know me though, like growing up, I was the one that never spoke. like it'd be a room, everybody around, like I'm quiet.
Yeah.
Like, you feel me? I'm like there, like, in the conversation and all that. I might say something here and there, but for the most part, I'm quiet. People used to say that all the time. Like, why are you so quiet all the time? Like, you know what I mean? And I honestly don't know why I was. I think I was just trying to figure out what was going on around me. You know what I mean? But yeah, I used to be like super quiet, and now I'm like you know, somebody that kind of stand out. You know what I'm
You're
saying?
him now.
Yeah, I'm him now.
Yeah, I love that, man. Do we have any insight on to the next project as of right now? Can you speak to that? Like, what are you working on?
I got another project coming out. This producer named Shark.
Okay.
You feel me? I think he's from Florida, or he based in Florida.
Why do you work with producers in different areas? Why do you do that?
Because I be trying to like create a sound that I ain't really heard before.
You like being challenged by a different sound?
Yeah,
Okay.
not even really challenged. Like, I just like good music for one.
Okay.
But I just want to make something different. Like, I don't
Got
want to make something that people feel like they heard before.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I listen to everybody's stuff. You feel me? Like, I got beats all through my emails, and I go through all of them. Like, if it's not nice to me, I'm not using them. You feel me? But them ones, like, and I came across Shark. And, like, all his beats is hard. Like, you feel me? So it was like, yeah, just like when I linked up with Python, I heard his beats. I'm like, oh, yeah, we might as well do a project. You feel me? So, yeah, me and Shark, we finna drop a project soon. Like, you know, next couple weeks. You feel me? Probably top of next month. I don't know. Soon, though. And, yeah, he producing all of the tracks. And, yeah, I ain't gonna say the name of it, though.
Okay. Holding on to you. Tell me off air, right?
Yeah, I'll tell you
All right,
off
cool.
here, yeah.
We talked about all the stuff about the major situation, you know, dealing with Interscope, and now that you're past it, you're holding yourself accountable, you know, understanding the things that they didn't do, the things that you didn't do. Would you go back to the major situation?
Yeah, because I know my way around it now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I really didn't know the business too much like that at that level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they throw a contract in front of me. It's a whole pamphlet with all these sticky tabs and stuff. You feel me? It's like, bro, I can't read none of this. Like,
So
you know
when
what I mean?
the first contract, you didn't read it, you just signed it, or did you send it to Lloyd? Did you look through it? Or?
I didn't look through it. I ain't gonna lie. You feel me? Stat wrote the contract up. And I was in Hawaii at the time. You feel me? Because my girl is from Hawaii. So I'm out there with her family, like, waiting on this deal to go through.
And it's like, it's here.
Yeah, Stat hit me like, yeah, we about to get you a flight. You got to come sign. I'm like, all right, bet. You feel me? I'm just ready to sign, bro. Like, they said they had the lawyers look it over. I kind of looked over it already. I had my times where I looked over it with my people, you feel me, from Interscope and stuff too, you feel me? But it was more just
Their people.
Yeah, you feel me? I mean, I'm from the jungle. It's fresh out the jungle.
Yeah.
Who the fuck I'm gonna call?
Jungletography. Yeah, them motherfuckers pull up. Since he telling you all this other shit, hey, man, look.
He might have been fighting a murder case at the time.
God damn.
That's a whole nother story, bro.
I got
he got a cold story, too.
He said, man, don't play me out.
Which one? The university or the one?
Let's go to Hard Knocks, right? So, you said, okay, for anybody that's watching, all right, you him now, you know what I'm saying? You putting this body of work. For anybody that's interested in you know, maybe inking a deal or reaching out and trying to make some things happen, are there some must-haves for you? Like, do you know in your head, like, what it is that you're looking for?
Well, yeah, now I do, for me personally, you feel me? But if you ain't never signed a deal and you trying to get out the ghetto, sign that motherfucker and do what you could do, you feel me?
So even
just make good decisions with the money once you get it.
Gotcha. So you're saying that's advice you would give to an artist that's coming up? Yeah,
that's like fresh out trying to get his life together.
Even with the mishaps that come with that and possibly a bad deal.
Because it's a learn. You're going to learn. You're not actually like failing at anything if you're learning from it.
Makes sense.
What's a better way to learn it, you know, than going through it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Got it. So
I don't regret signing. Like, even though it happened the way it happened, like, don't get me wrong, I don't regret it. Like,
so in your head, do you have, and I don't want you to speak on like this part of it, but do you have a dollar amount? Do you have all these things set up like this is the situation?
I got it written down. You feel me? I got my number.
You get that paper and just slide it on over like, yeah, this is what I want.
I more so wrote it for myself, like on my manifestation type of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got my number. Like, I know I'm gonna get it.
So what if they have everything in place, right, structure wise, but the number is a little short?
I'm gonna still get that number because I'm gonna take that money and I'm gonna flip it and do what I do. So,
OSBE, chill, man. I love having this conversation. I feel like it's a great introduction for the folks that may not know who you are. They can go back, check the history, and then just for us to kind of chop it up. Like I said, I've known you for years, and we've been meaning to set this up, and I'm glad it happened the way it was supposed to happen. I am too. Man, for sure.
This is a good interview for sure.
Is there anything else you want the people to know that we haven't already talked about?
No, I think I might have. Is there something I need to cover?
Team? Jungle, come on, hey, man.
Shout out Jungle Photography, you feel
man.
me? Shout out my girl, Olepa, you feel me? She got a dope clothing line that, you know, she do the jean denim.
Okay.
You know? She specializes in denim.
What's the name of the company?
Olepa Made.
Olepa Made.
You feel me? And, you know, she do hair too. So if y'all need some hair, y'all hair done, you know, type in Olepa Made, OLEPA Made.
Yeah.
On Instagram, you feel me? Shout out to Doe Networks, you feel me? My manager.
We gotta have him.
My
on too,
homeboy,
man.
you feel me?
Good
like,
people, good people,
good
man,
people.
Sure.
You feel me? If you trying to network and get your network up, you
come to Doe Boy. Come to the network.
You know what I mean?
I love it, man.
Shout out to my son and my daughter Zions and dad and all my family, and yeah.
I look forward to the progression in the potential of OSBE Chill, man. I feel like you have a lot going for yourself, and this is just one way. Anything that I can do with my platform to kind of shine light on you, you already know you got me, bro. So glad to have this conversation, man. This is just the first of many.
Hey, thank you for having me, bro.
Of course. Chuck Dizzle, live and direct, keeping it homegrown. OSBE Chill, ladies and gentlemen.